You've been watching NVIDIA rocket from $20 to over $900, then crash back down to $200. You missed the initial AI boom, bought near the top, or you're sitting on the sidelines paralyzed by conflicting headlines about whether the AI revolution is real or just hype. Here's what most people don't realize: the question isn't whether NVIDIA will succeed, it's whether the current price reflects what's actually happening behind the scenes. I've spent years tracking what institutional money actually does versus what they say in interviews, and here's what I'm seeing with NVIDIA right now. The stock sits at $212, essentially flat for the week while the broader tech sector got hammered. That's actually a bullish signal when you understand market mechanics. When everything else is selling off and one stock holds steady, it means there's institutional support underneath. Our AI signal shows neutral with medium confidence, suggesting we're in a consolidation phase rather than a breakdown. But that surface-level analysis barely scratches what's really happening here. The fundamental thesis for NVIDIA remains stronger than most people realize, and it's not just about ChatGPT or consumer AI. Data center demand is accelerating into Q3, which means the hyperscalers, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, are still in the early innings of their AI infrastructure build-outs. Think about it, every major corporation is scrambling to integrate AI capabilities, and they all need the same thing NVIDIA makes better than anyone else. The technical setup supports this too, with the MACD sitting at a positive 1.09, maintaining what technicians call a bullish divergence. When fundamentals align with technicals like this, it often signals the market is preparing for the next leg up. But there's a darker side to this story that most bulls completely ignore. Here's what keeps me up at night about NVIDIA. The company is essentially betting everything on AI demand continuing to grow exponentially, but we've seen this movie before with crypto mining. Remember when NVIDIA's revenue surged because everyone was mining Bitcoin, then crashed when crypto winter hit? The AI boom could follow a similar pattern if companies realize they're overspending on infrastructure that doesn't generate immediate returns. There's also the geopolitical risk. China represents a massive market that's increasingly off-limits due to export restrictions, and competitors like AMD and Intel aren't sitting still. The valuation still assumes perfection in execution, which rarely happens even for the best companies. Yet despite these legitimate concerns, some of the smartest investors in the world are still holding significant positions. When I look at who's still holding NVIDIA, the list reads like a hall of fame of successful investors: Ray Dalio, George Soros, David Tepper, Cathie Wood, Chase Coleman, and Dan Loeb. These aren't retail traders following Reddit threads, these are people who manage hundreds of billions and have access to research most of us never see. Dalio, known for his systematic approach, doesn't typically bet big on individual tech stocks unless his models show compelling risk-adjusted returns. Soros, who famously broke the Bank of England, built his reputation on seeing inflection points before the market does. The fact that both value-oriented and growth-oriented managers are holding suggests they see something beyond just AI hype. But smart money isn't infallible, and their timeline might be very different from yours. Here's what would change my mind in either direction. First, watch the data center revenue guidance in the next earnings call. If management starts hedging on Q4 projections, that's a red flag. Second, monitor the weekly price action relative to the broader market. If NVIDIA starts underperforming during market rallies, institutional support might be weakening. On the upside, any major enterprise AI deployment announcements or breakthrough partnerships could catalyze the next move higher. The key level I'm watching is that $215 target our models identified. Breaking above that with volume could signal the start of a new uptrend. Remember, this is analysis and education, not a recommendation to buy or sell anything. The case for NVIDIA isn't black and white. It's a company at the center of a massive technological shift, but priced for near perfection in a world that rarely delivers it. Whether that makes it right for your portfolio depends on your risk tolerance, timeline, and how much of your wealth you're willing to bet on the AI revolution continuing at this pace. For the complete analysis, data, and ongoing updates on what the smart money is doing, check out nexusaicalls.com. And remember, always do your own research before making any investment decisions.